So here we have our hacker VirtualBox machine that we spun up in one of the previous talks. Nothing too special about this, but I am going to go up into the machine settings and show you the networking options and how I have it configured so far. One thing I do want to point out is that when you are configuring network devices, you can only add additional network devices when the machine is turned off, but you can hot swap them when the machine is running. So I do want to point out I have 4 different adapters on this machine, and what we're going to do is go through and set up each one and show you how they work and how it affects the machine as we make those incremental changes, because it's the easiest way to kind of demonstrate how things are working. So for example, right now the only adapter that we have connected is a NAT interface. So there's no changes. If we run ifconfig, you'll see the other adapters are attached, but they haven't been assigned IP addresses, which means they're not really on the network. With the exception of our very first one, you'll see we have an internal IP of 10.02.15, which means this is on our VirtualBox network, and I can do anything I want really as far as connecting to the internet goes. I can ping Google, I can open up Firefox, I can browse the internet. The only thing I really can't do is have this virtual machine communicate with my host machine. If I wanted to do that, I would have to go back into the settings under network and that specific adapter and set up port forwarding. So one way I could do this, for example, is if I wanted to have SSH, I can have the host IP be localhost and forward port 2222 to the guest IP localhost port 22. So something like this would allow us to tunnel our traffic from our host machine to our guest machine if you don't want to expose the virtual machine to the rest of your network. So it's a good way of doing that. We're going to add this rule even though we won't make use of it right now, but we're going to come back to it. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change the second adapter to a NAT network, and you'll see we're just going to make use of the built-in NAT network that VirtualBox provides us. And click OK and clear a terminal. We may have to wait a minute, but we should in a second see additional network interfaces being used. We can also check these to the GUI. You'll see we have 2 Ethernet connections and they're both connected. The only difference here is that we're going to have slightly different IP addresses. So if we run ifconfig again, you'll see we have 2 different addresses. You'll see the first one we had before is the same, the 10.02.15, but then our second network interface has been assigned 10.02.11. So that means if we were to have multiple machines running on our NAT network configuration, this would be the IP assigned to it, and we could easily find other machines and reach out to them as long as they're on the same network. For our third option, we're going to go back into the settings. We're going to take our third adapter and we're going to go to bridged mode. So bridge is going to then prompt us to choose a specific network adapter. Again, this is the network adapter that's actually on my host machine right now. It's not the virtual machine, but VirtualBox is going to use one of these network adapters and assign it to my guest machine. So we're just going to choose our standard, the ENP42SO. This is just my Ethernet that's been assigned on my host machine. And now that we see the changes, it'll probably take a second for us to propagate another IP. But if we run ifconfig again, you'll see our third adapter now has a different address. So 192.168.2.212 is actually the internal subnet of my home network. So we now have 3 addresses, one for the NAT, one for the NAT network that we assign to it again. It's a bit redundant, but it works. And then in addition to that, we have the local IP address. Last but not least, we're going to go back into our settings. And we're going to use our fourth adapter to choose an internal network. So this was a network that I already created a couple of minutes ago. So we can just name this Hacker Lab so it matches the DHCP server that I created earlier and hit OK. And now what you'll see at the end, our final network interface before we get to the loopback has been assigned an IP. We have a 10.10.10.3, which again is different from our 10.02.15, 10.02.11, 192.168.2.1.2, and then last but not least, we have our internal network. So to really demonstrate how this works, I've split my screen into two different virtual machines. You'll notice that the one that we've set up is only running one specific network interface, but you'll notice it's 10.10.10.2, whereas on our other machine we have 10.10.10.3. So imagine the monitor in the upper right hand corner is going to be our internal network. Let's say we were setting something up that we didn't necessarily want reach too easily. And what we can do is we can actually treat our other machine like a jump box. So let's go back and remove this network interface. Okay, now that we have a Python server listening, we can try and reach out to it using wget. And you'll see the connection itself is just going to hang for a little bit because we removed that internal network interface. So let's quickly switch it back. And we'll save it back to our internal network. And we may need to cancel, but if we retry the request, you'll see it succeeds and we do get a hit on our internal box. So the internal, again, is a really good way of having machines that are just on a private network. Again, if I take this internal machine and we try and ping google.com, it's not going to resolve because we can't actually reach out to the internet and try and resolve that. Anyway, I hope this has been a little bit helpful in terms of demystifying what some of the options actually do in practice. In the next lecture, we're going to be talking about different ways you can architect machines in order to make them real-world simulations of what you might be trying to accomplish in an engagement.